A few years ago, I was exploring areas around Disney's Pop Century Resort inside Walt Disney World. Unlike most Disney locations, Pop Century doesn't feel like a theme park. It's quieter. Just rows of buildings themed around different decades. Huge statues of toys, bright neon colors, music from old radios playing in the courtyards. But there's a part of the resort guests don't see anymore. An area once planned in an expansion. Construction stopped halfway through. The buildings were never finished, they were simply left there. The area was easy to find. A broken fence behind the 1990s section led to a path covered in weeds. Beyond were the unfinished hotel buildings, dark windows, empty balconies. The giant decorations were still there. Huge floppy disks, old cell phones, but everything was faded and cracked. It looked like something tried to build a decade and then abandoned it. While walking through the empty courtyard, I noticed something strange. Objects where they shouldn't be. A giant cassette tape statue had been knocked over, but the ground around it was untouched. No marks, no damage. Just the statue lying on its side. A few minutes later, I walked past it again. The statue was standing upright, exactly where it originally had been. The deeper I went to the abandoned section, the stranger things became. Music started playing, faintly through hidden speakers. At first, it sounded like 1990s pop music. Then it changed. Suddenly, it was playing 1960s rock, the 1950s jazz. The songs kept switching decades, every few seconds, like time itself was skipping around. Even the decorations didn't seem consistent. One building had a giant sign that read 1994. When I passed it again later, it read 1974. Near the center courtyard, I saw someone standing behind one of the statues. At first, I thought it was a mascot costume someone left behind. It looked like Mickey Mouse, but the proportions were wrong. The arms were too long, and the body too thin, and the face. There was no face, just a dark circle where the head should have been. The figure slowly walked across the courtyard. As it passed each decoration, something changed. A yo-yo statue rotated slightly. A neon sign flickered. A bench that had been overturned suddenly stood upright. The figure stopped near the center fountain. Then it turned towards me. I couldn't see any eyes, but I knew it was looking directly at me. The air around the courtyard felt heavy, like the whole place was holding its breath. Then the figure spoke. The voice sounded distant, like it was echoing through decades of recordings. Everything is still here. It raised one arm slowly, pointing at the empty buildings. Every year, every decade, every memory. Then the voice became quieter, almost like a whisper. But everyone left. I ran back toward the broken fence. When I reached the entrance, I noticed something I hadn't seen before. A sign hanging loosely from the fence. Old. Rusty. The words were painted in white letters. At first, I thought it was just graffiti, but the phrase looked too deliberate, too neat. It read, Abandoned by God.